Bună dimineața și bun găsit la BU. Sunt Sabina Iosub și vă invit să rămâneți alături de mine în următoarea jumătate de oră. O să discutăm despre situația din Ucraina. Vedem ce a făcut Uniunea Europeană pentru a-i ajuta pe ucraineni, însă și în ce fel România a contribuit la remedierea situației de acolo. Mulți refugiați din Ucraina au ajuns în țara noastră. 3 interviuri exclusive astăzi la BU. Primul cu vicepreședintele executiv al Comisiei Europene, Frans Timmermans.
First of all, I have to start by saying that Romanians can be extremely proud of their country today. 500,000 of people have found refuge in your country, and we are all in deep admiration of what the Romanian people is doing to help those poor people who have to flee from their homes. And what we need to do is show this solidarity across the European Union. We have to make sure that we don't leave this burden to 1 or 2 member states, not just to Poland and Romania, but that we all do our part on a personal level and on an official level to make sure those refugees, and there will be many more, I fear, will find a safe refuge in Europe. That is a very important thing. Secondly, we have to continue to support the democratically elected government in Ukraine with weapons, with material support, with food, with water, with medical supplies if they need them. Anything should be done to support and help them. And thirdly, we need to quickly reduce our dependency on Russian energy. We have to be more sovereign in terms of our energy production.
We know that Alexander Novak just said today that Russia might put an embargo on Nord Stream 1. This means actually cutting off the energy for the European Union in general. What may be the response of the European Union?
Well, my immediate response is, if they do that, we can handle it. If they do that, we can handle it. We have plans in place to make sure that this doesn't lead to a crippling of our economy. This doesn't lead to a problem with our energy supplies. And we are also working very hard that by the end of the year, by the end of this year, we will have reduced our gas imports from Russia by 2/3. So we are moving very quickly now to make sure that Russia will never be in a position to try and blackmail us with their energy.
You've said 2 days ago that countries planning to burn coal as an alternative to Russian gas could do so in line with the European climate's goal. I've quoted you from Politico. Please explain what this actually means for a country like Romania, because you know that our dependency of coal is kind of big.
Yes, and also Romania depends on natural gas as well. And in the plans that we see in countries like Romania, it was envisaged to move away from coal, then into natural gas as a bridging solution, and then finally to renewables, solar, wind, hydrogen, geothermal, etc. Now, what we can do, if you don't want to prolong the dependency on Russian gas, is to skip the middle part, but that can only work if we introduce renewables much earlier. So you can use coal a bit longer, but only if you introduce renewables earlier, because otherwise you would be in breach of the climate law, which compels us to reduce our emissions with at least 55% by 2030. That is still possible, even if you would stay with coal a bit longer, as long as you speed up the introduction of renewables. And Romania is in an excellent position to have a lot of renewable energy. Offshore wind is a huge potential for Romania. Rooftop solar, there's so much we can do in Romania. Romania will be part of the future hydrogen economy in the EU. That's also a huge potential. And Romania has a lot of potential also in the money that is part of the Recovery and Resilience Plan to invest in that transition.
27 countries, 27 different economies and different dependencies on Russian gas, if we are looking just at this situation. Do you consider that all the countries can and will actually take the measures in order to cut the dependency from Russia's gas? Because you've said you have a new plan that will be discussed. I don't know which part of this plan you can explain to us now.
Well, it is clear that not everyone depends in equal terms on Russian gas. So, like with many issues, not every member state is touched by this in the same way. But we have seen in this crisis, we've seen with this Russian aggression, what has astonished Putin is that we were united as Europeans. He has been investing over 20 years in trying to create divisions between us, in giving money to radical right-wing parties who are anti-European, in stoking up societal unrest on moral issues, etc., etc. He's tried that, and he's completely failed. So the strongest thing we have going for us is our unity. And that means that if we have different situations in the energy sector, we need to show solidarity with those countries who have the biggest challenge in this transition.
In the end of our discussion, because I know your schedule, your agenda is actually very, very full today, and thank you again for being with us. In the end of our discussion, what is your message for those who are still thinking that the European Union is not doing enough?
I think we will see very soon that the sanctions we have agreed will have a huge negative effect on Putin's regime. I also believe, and I want to make this very clear, nothing is off the table. We could have more sanctions, we could have more measures. I want just to say one thing. Our success is our unity, and we will do everything to maintain that unity and to come to the rescue of those countries who are most in danger of being put under pressure by Putin.
And something you want to say in the end for Romanians who are watching you right now?
Well, once again, I want to end where I started. I am looking at the TV every hour of the day, and I see the way Romanians have received these refugees, 500,000 refugees from Ukraine. And this must be a really, really proud moment for the Romanian nation. And you are being admired by all of us in the rest of Europe for doing this. Thank you very much.